if you can keep your testimony to the other items that are not part of your presentation.
Aloha Maikako,
Aloha.
to you, Madam Chair, and to the rest of this honorable board. My name is Pat Kaha. I'm a Native Hawaiian as defined under the Act and the current president of the Kilkaha Community Association. My reasons for being here today are just particularly that. I appreciate the fact that I'm scheduled to be on the J agenda, maybe at 1:30 or so, is what's there. But I appreciate that fact. But there are some serious concerns that the second oldest Hawaiian Homes Community Association by just one day, with Molokai being the first. You know, so sometimes it's really not bad being second. So, but we are, and I am. I'm a product of the homestead, and that's my whole life has been on that homestead in Kilkaha, the Ainoho Pulapula. But I have some serious concerns when we do have actions that are happening now by or inaction, sometimes by our own department, but actions by our own committee of that has the sole authority to take care of things that are Native Hawaiian. It bothers me very seriously when trying to get resolution to those questions that I've asked. And a series of those questions that I've asked, if I had, and maybe I got to do that before I leave, is to get the email addresses of all the commissioners so that you can all maybe stew with the questions that I ask. I continue to ask of the department. And in talking what's on the agenda, especially with those things, I'd like to elaborate on what, in this case, beneficiary trustee, excuse me, she's a beneficiary and also the council person that represents the district of Kilkaha and Panaewa in Suliloi. You know, some of the questions that we've been asking has been too long for resolution. I hear the cries of our Native Hawaiians that preceded me here, the younger ones, and I just would want to remind them and everybody else, trust me, arrest not funny. But 25 years ago, I had to take my family to 25 years ago to raise the question whether or not this department has been working in the best interest of Native Hawaiians. And it began at Pui Bay, and it still began at Pui Bay, and went to where Uncle Sonny Kaneo is taking us with the Prince Hill Plaza. We still have that kinds of problems that's there 25 years later. So be prepared. Young man, be prepared. If you're going to be the warrior, be prepared. I and 7 Native Hawaiians lost our homes out of the homestead. We lost them. We all back on the homestead again. And trust me, we never come back by go kissing somebody's okole. We worked hard to get back on the homestead. Okay, so this is so it is a legacy that we do here, Native Hawaiians do here on this Ainoho Pulapula, especially here on this island. You know, I would remind this body, if you look at the legacy, and maybe the Attorney General needs to do that too, he needs to understand, because you look really, really young, and with due respect, you look really, really young, but I know you smart enough to go back and go look at what Kilkaha Panaewa Community Association, its lawsuit, to look at what we've done with the flood control, that we still never get paid by the county. Look at the lawsuits that it permeated out of this community to advance everything that the department has had. I've never heard the word fiduciary duty was never heard until the Ahuna case. This department never heard of it until it came out of the Ahuna case, and that was the Kilkaha Panaewa farmers suing. So I come from a long history of people that, for lack of a better word, 25 years ago I was an activist. Today I'm an advocate for the department, for Kilcar. But some of the questions that I have is, and with due respect to Peter Kahana, Alexis, Peter. I don't know his name was Peter, but this mayor, 2 years ago said, in Kilcar, there's a gym that sits there, the Abigail Kawananakoa, Wahaika Ahula Kawananakoa Center that sits in Kilcar, built with grassroots money. Some money came from the county, some money came from the department, a lot of it raised by grassroots people, OHA. We got that gym built. But it was this couple years ago, we were then denied the fact of having sleepovers. Okay? The Merry Monarch is on this island. We use the gym as a way to house our, culturally, our halaus that come. We were denied this past year because, well, I say it, heaven may be the right word, but I say it's because they relied on one section of their lease agreement or license agreement, namely number 44, that says the Hawaiian homes inserted no sleepovers in the building. Now, if that was happened, then Linda Chin pulled a wool over my eyes, and I like the way you smile.
No, because the poor woman is retired, Uncle
Absolutely. No, I say that with truth. I know she's retired, and she's my Facebook friend. I know. And I keep that close to my heart. I know, because I keep poking her about it all the time. But this mayor pointed out that it was, hey, we want to let you sleep. But the fire code says no, and Hawaiian Homes said no. So, like this one young lady earlier, Florence, that came by, she grew up in Kilcar. She said, how long does it take? I sent Kahana and Land Management the specific language to be inserted in the lease agreement given to me by the chief of the fire chief of this island, who they said we're violating the codes if we slept there. He gave me the specific language to insert into this thing that would then, he would have the authority to allow us to sleep, but using what we've done before previously, fire watches, providing, those, yes, extinguishers. That's all we needed. We've done it. But it's fell on deaf ears. I just hope Kahana has been so busy that he never had time for look at this thing. So, mea culpa. I can understand that. So I need to be sure that this body and its commissioners know that for me, I am serious. Do not ask me to choose between Kilcar or any place else. As far as I'm concerned, you're going to lose if you ask me to choose from them, because I am biased. I come from a race-based entity. The Department of Hawaiian Home is race-based. That's been proven in the courts. In the Kayatano case, it said that. In the Barrett case, it said that. We're race-based. If you need to be one half the blood of the race inhabiting these islands prior to 1778 to live there, it's race-based. So, knowing that, no come ask me, I like this, I like that, we like use your land for this. If you're non-native, stay off our lands. They have leases now, and I saw again in your agenda that we're going to address that tomorrow or maybe later. But I do. You identified there were Hawaii Forest and Trail. That's one. There's the Clays. There's several entities that's listed here that I marked as being non-natives on our land. And I would end by telling you this. There was a law in legislation that was passed, or anyway, an initiative was passed that you need to understand, in 1960, there was a great tidal wave here. Hilo was devastated. They found places for the business to go. A lot of those businesses now reside on our lands. Okay? KIAA, the Kanoiliua Industrial Area, is our lands. Maka'ala is our street. Pu'ainako is our street. Okay? So, Prisco Hill Plaza abounds those Walmart, Target, Safeway. It abounds our land. The question I had, and I think I raised it to the chair, and I put it in writing, did that initiative or law that was designated, and this was to give 40 years more, to extend the lease 40 years more to the people having their businesses there. Without blinking an eye, all they needed to do was paint the building, take away the shrubbery, put new fence, and they can get automatically 40 years already tacked on to the 55 or 65-year lease that is about to expire. You got to remember, this was 1960 now. So I have a problem. If it affects our lands, how can the state legislature make laws that are going to affect us? Because they really don't have the right. You all have that power. I think I heard it earlier from Bo that you have the inherent powers for land use. It's nothing to do with Sue, has nothing to do with the mayor, because again, it was through an attorney general's opinion that says the county cannot rezone Hawaiian homelands. Okay? So it's clear, but we continue to allow them to do that. I don't know why. I've heard the arguments before, because this is not the first administration I've been before, but this I've heard it for, well, we don't have the staff. Well, obviously we're the most staff now. We're 200 short, okay? But when are we ever going to get staff? I'm hoping Judge Castaneda's ruling in the Nelson case, which has been appealed by this wonderful state that's here, that we're not deserving of the $28 million. However, I found out at the OHA meeting and through some research by our own state senator that this body is going to get somewhere in between 18, 17, maybe $22 million in their budget. That's what I'm hearing, how I saw the budget. But this was Judge Castaneda saying $28 million a year would be sufficient to keep the lights on. Okay, keep the lights on. Because in the 20 years that she went back to 78, in those years, how were we paying for the employees of the Department of Hawaiian Homes? To trust monies? To the monies made in our shopping centers? Is that how we paid them? Then, yes. And I can see by your raised eyebrows that's exactly what we were doing, to the detriment of our beneficiaries. So with that being said, we need to come, because I think we can. Again, I told you, I'm an advocate now, you see. But doesn't take much to make me become an activist again. But as an advocate, I think we have ways to find to help our people. Lifting the moratorium was one. Why we lifted the moratorium? But they put a new rule on it. The rule says you got to be related if I subdivide. The act speaks nothing to relationship. It speaks to blood. You need to be 50% the blood of the race inhabiting these islands prior to 1778. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to reinvent the wheel, as Bo mentioned, but somebody in the department is surely moving the spokes around. They're moving the spokes, and we cannot have that because it's taking too long, too many people. Now they call me kupuna. That's a scary thing to hear, But I'm not. I really am not. I get my kupunas are here. But I believe that this is what I need to be sure that you all understand that. because what I'm going to do moving forward, and again, due respect to everybody here in the audience, there is a process, and I heard about the flawed process that the young people are serious about. There is a flawed process. History speaks to us being overthrown as a people. I only remind everybody else, these islands were made up of 4.2 million acres, this archipelago. The apology bill that a lot of people hang their hats on, absolutely, because that apology bill said this: we're sorry for taking 1.8 million acres. What happened to the rest? What happened to the rest? It doesn't matter. If the military, I don't care who got it. Somebody's got it. And until that thing happens, where we can now assert our rights to those lands, I'm going to be here on Hawaiian Home. I'm going to be buried on Hawaiian Homes. You may not know about it, but I'm going to be buried there. We may not have a graveyard on Hawaiian Home, but I told my kids, this way you're going to put me, over there. Whether it's in the shape of ashes or whatever, I'm going to be on Hawaiian Homes. I am not going to the Veterans Cemetery, to which I qualify, unless the Veterans Cemetery is on Hawaiian Home. So this is all I need for all of you to understand. I am very passionate about that. I'm really going to see that we move. I surely hope. I need everybody to understand. I surely hope we're going to move in 2 months. We're going back into. Hopefully, I see the same happy faces over here. Okay, I really believe it. But if not, bye. I only say that in jest. But for you and all of you, again, I thank you for allowing me the time, and I know I got some time on the G agenda, which will just be about Aina Mauna. So again, thank you.
Okay. Any questions for Uncle Pat? No, thank you, Uncle Pat.